Did you know there's a company that owns 10% of the global economy and uses a terrifying machine to control the entire financial world? And guess what? They're coming for crypto. The company's called BlackRock. They own trillions of dollars in assets, bail out governments, and have more influence than any corporation in history. Yeah, even Apple, Amazon, and this guy. They've been called evil, own businesses everywhere. They're accused of ruining the American dream and directly tied to one mysterious figure. But until now, they've mostly messed around in the world of traditional finance. Not anymore. And this just might change crypto forever. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking that BlackRock offering cryptos to institutional investors isn't that big of a deal.
MEH. Meh.
But you'd be dead wrong. BlackRock is the biggest financial force on this or any other planet.
Some people think I'm an alien.
Sorry, buddy. They got their hooks in you too. Just about everything you do every day is controlled by this asset manager. The banks you use, the TV channels you watch, the medicine you take, your underwear. Actually, I think your underwear probably is safe for now. Is nothing sacred? So this global titan is everywhere, and now they're supporting crypto by teaming up with Coinbase. BlackRock's job will be to make it easy for institutional investors to get into Bitcoin. And this is big news and great for the value of Bitcoin, which might get you excited, but it could also mean something much scarier. Crypto could get flooded by wealthy institutional investors and cash-crazed power brokers with the resources to take control of the entire space. But hold on, is this really going to happen? That's what I set out to understand. And the first thing I realized is in order to determine what will happen to crypto, we need to dive into BlackRock's story and discover the machine pulling all the strings. BlackRock is the world's largest asset manager with $10 million under their management. Sorry, did I say 10 million? I meant trillion. $10 trillion. That's about half the American GDP, 10% of the global economy, and 18.3% of Smaug's life saving. It's actually insane how much cash these people control.
What's your pitch, kid? Come on, time is money, money is power, power is pizza, pizza is knowledge, let's go.
They've been called evil, they influence government policies, and they invest other people's millions into businesses they own. They call the shots and punish those that don't do what they say. Some people even believe they could take over the country. And of course, there's suspicion about the Illuminati. I think we all saw that one coming. But here's the thing. When you dig into the BlackRock story, you don't find reptilians or alien human hybrids or a shadowy cabal of baby-eating Satan worshippers. You actually find one man, Larry Fink. Billionaire, BlackRock CEO, and as you've probably guessed it, one of the most powerful men in the world. Sources have said that it is impossible to overstate how BlackRock's journey is the journey of a single man. But who is he? Well, Fink, he sits on the Council of Foreign Relations and the WEF. He's a big fan of globalization and global capital markets. He loves capitalism, and capitalism definitely loves him back. And he is, all in all, the most powerful man on Wall Street. But if you're anything like I was, then you have no idea who this guy is. And to be fair to him, he doesn't look all that evil. How did he get involved with BlackRock? Well, he started out helping his family's shoe store and then became part of the secretive Kappa Beta Phi Society. The contacts there allowed him to mastermind the spectacular rise of BlackRock, but that didn't happen without first making a massive mistake. He actually ended up losing his employer, First Boston, a fortune when he worked there. $100 million wiped out based on a bad prediction by him. But while that would end most people's careers, Fink admitted he'd been a jerk and screwed up. And what happened next was the comeback of a lifetime. He built BlackRock and things went much better. Their assets quadrupled in a year. Then they started snapping up companies and making giant deals. There was no stopping them as they bulldozed the market. They eventually got so big they could bail out governments, like after the 2008 crisis. So yeah, Fink is something of a stock market genius. But let's get real. There are plenty of stock market geniuses out there. Why did Fink and his empire grow so exponentially large? I needed to dig further. And that's when I discovered it. Aladdin, a giant supercomputer that controls investments worth $20 trillion. Aladdin was built by Fink about 20 years ago. It runs AI algorithms that literally shape world markets. This beast runs 250,000 trades in every type of asset every day. It even tells the Federal Reserve what to do. You thought they made all the decisions, but BlackRock, or rather Aladdin, pulls the strings. More than 50% of the world's ETFs are controlled by this moolah generating machine, as well as 10% of the stock market. It has all the answers and exerts more control over the stock market than maybe any other entity. Seriously, This thing keeps the wheels of the financial world spinning, and it's one of the secrets to BlackRock and Think's success. It even gets rented out to companies willing to pay huge bucks for it, including BlackRock's own rivals, giving them all a huge advantage over guys like you and me. These are the powers just now entering the crypto space. And before I tell you about what happens next, we need to cover how you can keep a bit of power in your own portfolio with today's sponsor, iTrust Capital. Do you like saving money? Do you plan on living for a while? Hopefully. Then iTrust Capital is the company for you. With iTrust, you can actually place your crypto within a Roth retirement account. And this is huge. It means you can buy, sell, and trade all you want without worrying about paying capital gains on your wins. This is a must try for traders. With a Roth, you pay your tax upfront when putting money in the account. Then at retirement, you pay no tax once you start pulling out at 59.5 years old. It's the most simple way to save on all capital gains tax. iTrust will be linked in the description below, and if you use that link to open an account, you'll actually receive $100 in Bitcoin free just for joining. So now you have an idea about BlackRock, their founder, and the machine that powers their decisions. But what do their crypto moves signify? BlackRock is an enormous beast with a history of proving time and time again that they're experts in reading the market. Even a source who confessed to not liking CEO Larry Fink admitted Larry was astonishing on the level of details he knew. He's a phenomenal businessman. He knows what he's doing, and he has this AI backing him up. It feels like some kind of dystopian sci-fi movie. But with this, they wouldn't just take a blind gamble on Bitcoin. If you ask me, this is probably like most of their moves. They crunched the numbers, saw a solid opportunity, and their eyes lit up with dollar signs. They must be almost certain about making money with crypto. Yet BlackRock doesn't just make money from rising markets. They're too sophisticated for that. Once they enter a market, they tighten those tentacles around every single area, which is why this investment concerns me. Because if they're willing to get involved in crypto, there's a good chance they're going to try and control it, because why not? And this all means God knows what in the long run, but in the short run, it could mean a Bitcoin pump. If they lose money on Bitcoin, I'll eat my hat. And I don't even have a hat, so I'll need to buy one. And I'm sure BlackRock will somehow make money in that transaction. So even if cryptos crash, this company will come out of the wreckage smelling of freshly printed greenbacks. I'm not going to say their interest in crypto guarantees rising prices, but it's probably a positive sign. Which brings me to one final question. How, if at all, does this fall into BlackRock's long-term plan? In the past, they've done some bad stuff, and not everyone likes them. But at the same time, BlackRock just wants to be your happy, sustainable corporate friend. And for all of you theorists out there, BlackRock's enormous power and this creepy AI will certainly be ringing alarm bells, because BlackRock is potentially one part of a bigger, more concerning puzzle. A group of billionaires that have way too much power and influence, the WEF. And what do the rich and powerful want? More money and power, obviously. Here's an example. BlackRock is the only Western company that can buy stock in blacklisted Chinese companies, using money from American pension funds. They can buy into companies like Hikvision, which makes questionable facial recognition software. Add this to the fact that they already know everything about our banking transactions, our media preferences, and even our underwear, apparently. Why wouldn't they want more power? So sure, BlackRock may be a shady company with ties to all kinds of powerful entities. And while I'm not going to speculate on the world domination plans of their AI, it doesn't take a genius to realize that a company like BlackRock entering the crypto world is a huge deal, and it's going to create lasting changes. This will probably hike prices up, but in the long run could put enormous influence over crypto into the hands of the traditional financial elites. I'll let you decide whether that's a good thing. But for now, the world's most powerful financial supercomputer thinks it's time to enter crypto. Are you going to join it? By the way, if you'd like even more insights into the market, additional research, and free coaching every day, there really has never been a better time to check out our exclusive membership site, Finnova. It'll be linked in the description, and if you use that link, you'll get 7 days free. That's going to do it for today. I'm Max Maher, and I hope you have a profitable day.